Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P-Farm. Thinking right out here in my land. I'm back in the book doing what I do for you. It's about to get good. We got a little word called psychomythology, okay, of the glorious light and teachings. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm back doing my teaching thing. I'll put the other stuff down. Let me get back doing what I do for you. That's right. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself, and if you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? Where would I get through? Because that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, you spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Mayat, be true. Woo-wee. All right, let's get busy because I got a little lesson here. It's going to be a little while, but this is the story of creation of the universe, the destruction of unrighteous men and women, the story of Hetheru and Djehuty. It breaks down to God sent his eye out and she got reckless, lost herself. She sent his mind to go get it together. Long story, blah, blah, blah. But I got a lot of fluff in here, so I got to go through it. So bear with me. I'm going to try to go as quick as I could and try to break it down the best I could. This is a good story, though. I ain't going through all that. Oh, no, it's too many. No, I'm going to squash out the fluff. I can tell you that. All right, let's go. The story of Hetheru and Djehuty is told through an ancient Egyptian matna, M-A-T-N-U, matnu, or what we call myth, okay? And a myth, again, a myth is a kind of language that is not necessarily literally or historically true. That's not the issue. But it conveys true wisdom through the teachings once you implement them and about the nature of what? Human and your spiritual origins, hence creation. The meaning of life is what? The path to discover the answers to this important questions of life for your individual self. My meaning of life won't do you any good. You got to get it for yourself. That's what I'm here to help you do, just that. Know thyself. I'm going to give you the information I got to help me, maybe to help you. That's why I do what I do for you. Now, what's this? As with other African traditions, what? The ancient Egyptians' spiritual tradition enjoins that a mythic teaching or a mu'at, or what you call a myth again. No, the myth is the moral story. But watch this. Mu'at, spelled M-A-U-T, all right? And when the teachings are given, there are three components that's necessary in order for it to be viable and effective. What are they? They are three stages or three levels. Again, in masonry, 3 degrees. But you have 3 levels in religion. Practicing, learning, and understanding. This is the 3 things you need to do if you're going to practice a belief system. The myth, okay, which is the matnu, which is the legend, the story. Everybody knows the story, okay? The ritual, your practicing of the story, practice it, put it into life. And then you got what they call the ritual or the ceremony. You enacting it, you live in it, you practice it, and you perform it. And what they call this the She-Taught Netta. Mystical, meaning they have myths that are given through what? Sajet, meaning storytelling. To speak proverbs, affirmations. You see where I'm going with this? Hymns and praises to God. Speaks tales and what? In the myth stage in the Shimsu, which is what the followers of Hetheru, which is who we are, humans, the followers of the religion, learned this story. Everybody learned this story. Back that time, it was Hetheru, Set, and Hetheru, Asar, and Aset. The evil uncle was Set. But again, this is the story of life. And if you look at it, and it breaks it down perfect, but it's not necessarily, again, historical, meaning true. It don't have to be true. It's to try to teach you and implement the story through myth. Although it may have some historical elements. Again, the Bible perfect for that. Why? Y'all use the Egyptians, who we know about, to substantiate y'all existence. Moving on. So that's a ploy that they use. And it may have some historical elements. If you have mummies, you got writings, you got physical evidence, those receipts. You ain't got none of that, but you want me to believe that what you say happened, but it ain't. It's real. It ain't a myth. It ain't. No, it ain't a story. It really happened. Stop. But it have historical elements that's embodied in it. Why? Such as, watch this, the names. Again, Egypt. Ain't nobody in Egypt wrote about no Moses or nobody leaving or nobody slaves. Okay. Again, places or objects or even people that what really did exist. We know the Egyptians existed. I'm just saying. Yet, human beings alive today, guess what? Ain't no different from those who lived thousands of years ago. And I agree 100%. But the mentality is we so much dumber, so much ignorant of who we are. Not saying technically no. Self-knowledge, we have none. And some of us don't mind. Okay, a lot of us don't even care. What difference it makes? Again, ignorance. And that's our problem for thousands of years. And what's this? For those who lived thousands of years ago, they had a problem then. Okay, it didn't just started. But in the sense of their what? Perceptions and the capacity to what? Evolve how? Spiritually. How many Christians actually evolve to get to know God, become Christ-like? And watch this, through your desires, you have to want to do to be spiritual, okay? And they have the same desires, the same concerns, and the same yearning to discover what? And experience what? Immortality. How do you do that? We had the blueprint for you. They give you that. And the transcendental consciousness. Y'all call it Christ consciousness. Call it what you want, but you want to experience God for yourself. Thus, if a myth is constructed correctly, it can what? Remain relevant and perpetuate itself as it relates to universal principle that would constantly go on. That's Maya. That will affect all human beings throughout what? All time periods. The truth has been the truth since it's been the truth. They just hid it. They just stopped giving it to you. That don't mean it ain't true. That means it stopped being true. Okay? I practice it. I can tell you it's the truth. Why? I practice it. I know it's the truth. So that's why I teach it to you. Myths is a special language right there. Please, and if y'all Bible thumpers would understand this about that Bible, y'all be some bad people. Y'all would be, I can only imagine how much more better y'all would be without that nonsense, burden of nonsense that y'all carry like an anvil. It won't let you free yourself, okay, to be yourself. Know yourself. And it's a special language that only relates to what? The higher aspects of spirit in all things. An ignorant person won't gravitate to become what? Better. They're satisfied doing what they're doing, so you can't change them. They got to wait their turn, come through a few times before they figure it out. Let them be. You can't change nothing but you. I did one thing. I mastered what? Me. I don't give a damn. Why? Make that the most important thing you do, and when you do it, you'll be better for it. Some people it takes a lifetime. I got lucky. So therefore, the myth is what? It's primarily through not exclusively, metaphorically relating to truth that cannot often be expressed but in a physical term, but yet you can use physical terminology, similes, parables, affirmations to what? To point the mind in the right direction of the transcendent. Thus, by the use of myths in the phenomenally language that it persists on the mind, now the mind is limited and gross, even though it is referring to what is spiritual and transcendental. That's the higher thinking, and what they call the moi, which is the plot of the myth. The storytelling. If you tell somebody a story, you want to watch a movie for 90 minutes, and you don't get the plot, the meaning of the story. What the hell was you doing? Why you even sit there and waste your time? I know a lot of people go to the movie and ask them how the movie. Man, please. We just sat through an hour and a half movie, and you don't have no recollection or no understanding. That used to drive me crazy. Now I understand. See? With knowledge and wisdom, you get better at understanding other people's less fortunate situations and not freak out. Oh, how do you? No. I mean, one time I would lose my damn mind. Now, not so much. So I'm getting better at what I do and how I react to what people do or don't do. Okay? Again, life lesson means I'm learning too. Okay? But I master what I need to be mastered of so I can be comfortable doing what I'm doing and still progress and get better also. Why? Now, the moral of the myth is the whole purpose of the story. That is to what? Be remembered. To learn it, understand it, and then hopefully implement it. When I read Return of the Jedi, the book, I had a whole different mindset. I saw the movie, I'm like, what the hell? So when you have your own imagination, it's always going to be different than the real thing. Okay, but it is the whole important, the teaching that's imparted, to get the lesson that's imparted through the myth that is impressed on the mind. I never forget, my favorite story was Icarus. I follow my dad. Whatever my dad said, whatever he did, I'm with it. But Icarus did that to the point where he had his own egoistic concepts when his dad told him what to do, gave him instruction, and he didn't follow him. I learned to follow the letter of the Lord, what the Father tell you why. He knows what's best. He's not going to tell you nothing wrong. So if you don't do what he tell you to do, you ain't did what he told you. Follow the Lord. Sometimes it could cost you your life. So that was one of my little life lessons. I started learning the Greek mythology stories. Are one of my favorites. But let's go right quick for the background. Now, you see this picture right here? That's Hetheru in a female form, okay? That's Djehuty, okay? In the ibis form, a man with an ibis head, okay, and all his regalia. And this is him as a baboon, the wise one, okay? These is aspects and characters that they give you, that they make up, okay? Again, mythological characters. This is Ra. This is Ra right here. He's golden. Okay, this is him at high noon. This is him right here in his regalia. The first sign for God was this right here. Okay, the dot in the circle. Okay, he had no beginning and no end. He's consistent. That was the whole concept by him. Let me go back to the quick lesson about the background. Oh, I'll get this in. Yeah, the background of the myth. The myth is told for a reason. Educational purposes. In Kemetic philosophy, mythology holds the key to all essential teachings of to the mind and its various states and its function. They had this thing in our head figured out. I thought the brain was the last frontier. No. They were well advanced on how the brain worked. Trust me. What's this? And my man proved that out every time. He said they was way advanced in this. They knew how to do a lot of stuff with their mind. And what's this? They had the functions as well as the means to overcome them. Therefore, in order to understand the teachings related to daily meditation, it is necessary to truly understand the psychomythology, the myth, to enhance the mind, to get you mentally thinking and understanding a concept based on the story, and you understanding the plot of the story. You getting it, okay? What follows is an overview of the myth of Hetheru and Djehuty. That's we're gonna go right quick. I can't get the whole thing; it's too long and it's too much fluff. Philosophically, good stuff. Parables, all that good stuff, but I don't go through that. All right, but watch this. We're gonna give an overview of the myth of Hetheru and Djehuty, wherein the glorious light meditation scripture is also contained. Now, in the scripture, it writes, Lord Djehuty, another word for God, instructs that before the meditation practice, the story should be read and hopefully understood. In other words, known, remembered, recited, okay, commemorated, etc. And then the daily practice of the actual meditation may proceed. That's how it's done. They prepare you, get you ready, and then they take you through it. I just showed you a picture with Hetheru to the left. That's the goddess Hetheru in the form of a woman. She got the cow horns. She got the vulture headdress. And she's dressed to kill too. This means God. Have you seen the sun disc? That's Ra. You see any third circles? That's all Ra. That's all God, the sun disc. See this is the vulture. This is, again, the sun disc. But she represents the eye of Ra. Okay? She's his daughter. And she's the female aspect of Heru. Okay? Male version, female version. Hetheru, the house of Heru. And on the right side, I showed you the god Djehuty in his two principal forms. Man with the iris head, keeping track. He's God's mind. So he's your rationale, your reason, your intellect. That's what he represents. He ain't a real person. Moving on, in the baboon, again, aspect. When the baboons are sitting and chilling, it looks like they in deep thought. So they use that to insinuate the baboon intellectual, okay? A thinker is a deep thinker. All right, I'm going to give you a quick lesson on it. The image of Ra, I got some of the stuff is so much fluff because I see the time. I don't like to do stuff and take up my time. I'm gonna take you over here. I'm not doing the fluff. I'm just skipping past that. Let's take you to the quick lesson of Ra, Djehuty, and Hetheru. All right, this is what they look like. But this is the female version of the lioness female aspect of Sekhmet, serpent power, the female. That's Tefnut and Sekhmet, okay? And now we're over here back to Hetheru and Djehuty. This is the story. I'll run through that right quick. I see the clock. I'm trying to beat the clock. I'm trying to get it there. I just showed you the goddess Hetheru and the god Djehuty. These are aspects of your character. I'm going to break down. I got some more to show you in a minute. Yeah. These are all parts of your character. You have to know them, understand them. We gave them identities so that you could study them to be able to emulate them and use their character for yourself, and you'll see, be like them. This is a story about a lady. Oh, no, I didn't know it's a break. Excuse me. This is a story of Hetheru and Djehuty, which was written in ancient Egypt thousands of years ago. Okay? It was told on the temple inscriptions. Hetheru is the goddess of beauty, sound familiar? And passion and love. She's that god, okay? She's the female. She has many forms, right there. At times, she is a beautiful woman. At other times, she is the cow, Mishkanet, her, okay? And still, at other times, what? Damn, she got a whole bunch of styles. Watch this. She is also, my favorite, the eye of Ra. That's the scorching power of the sun itself. She represents that thing that burns, okay? And this is her. Ra is the creator of the universe. He is the very source of all that exists. But the Paute, which is this group of God, the Sejets, they're called the Enad of 9 divinities, the primordial gods and goddesses of creation. I gave all that back, but I still want to run it by you one more time. They emanated from what? The supreme being. We knew it wasn't one, but one God, and everything else is emanation from him. Egyptians serve many gods. They worship many gods. No matter how many times you tell them, they still say the same thing. Some people, you just can't teach. Moving on. Or enlighten. You can't get them to understand except what they believe. Can't change what they believe. All right, but the creation, but the emanation from the supreme God. Remember, you had Ra or Ra-Tem arose out of the what? Out of the noon. Okay? Remember the story, the creation story we tell you all the time. And the waters of the hidden essence. And beginning the sailing of the boat, a.k.a. the boat of a million years, which included what we call Hetheru. He's the netter, one. Hetheru means the ones after him, below him. The Hetheru, or they call it Paute, or are as follows. I told you. Ra Atun. He's the creator. He created Shu. You know what Shu is? Take a deep breath. Air. That's Shu. Okay? Then you got Tough Newt. That's the female counterpart, the line that's to Shu. She's moisture. She's the water that come down. Why? The earth already 75% water, but she's the moisture, the condensation, okay? The moist air. Shu is the dry air that we breathe. This is all elements, nature. Ra, the sun, okay? You got Shu, Tough Newt. After that, you got Geb, which is the earth. Y'all call it Gaia, earth, the female. The original earth was the male. Why? Because heaven is the female. The female's on top, men on the bottom. Philosophically, everybody got a different concept. I'm just trying to show you. And I respect all of them. Why? Because it makes sense to them and it's symbolically understandable. I ain't got a problem with that. I ain't saying, what is this way? I said, no. Everybody got their own philosophy and concept. Again, you got two men. One believe God answers prayers. One believe God don't give a damn. They both right. Moving on. But trust me. Why? Everybody has the right to believe whatever they want. It ain't up to you to tell them they right or wrong. They figure that out at Judgment Day. Shh, that's God's job. Don't worry about it. Moving on. Don't debate. Don't argue. I don't do that. But then, after you got the heaven and earth, Newt represents heaven. Geb is earth. And after that, the first, which is the 5 elements, earth, wind, fire, air, water, that's the elements. Now, spirit. God is what? Spirit. Man is the beast. The 6th element is what? The spirit that begets in man, which represented by Osiris. Y'all call him Osiris. His wife, his counterpart, sister, Aset. Y'all call her Isis. Set, which is the ego. Y'all call him Seth. Okay, a whole bunch of other names. But it's Set. He represents the ego. Now, Aset represents immortality. Nephet, with her twin sister, with the opposite of her, she represents what? Mortality. So once you have all these understandings as in yourself, these are all characteristics of who you are and how you are. Okay? And along with that, you get who? Hetheru represent what? The female spirit that's in you. Djehuty, your mind. And my favorite, Mayat, the balance. And all of them came into existence at what? At the time Ra created human beings. And he ruled the earth. At one time, Ra, okay, here's a good picture right here. See these two guys right here? This is Ra at high noon. Okay, this is you in your prime. This is me 40 years ago. This is me now. Old age, bent over, got my stick. Okay, I'm still him. But look at the difference. That's called aging. And even he aged. That's what he said when people mocked him because he was getting old. He said, man, I ain't trying to have that. Kill them all. All of them who ain't with me, kill them. So Ra been doing this thing for a while. Don't piss God off. That's the main thing. Why? Punishment is death. And watch this. He ruled over human 1,000 years ago. He walked with us. And at a time, the time came when human beings, watch this, began to feel themselves egoistic and arrogant and very egoistic. Again, they don't push God out. They don't need God no more, right? All conceptually, all symbolical. But watch this. And they then begin to what? To think that Ra was old, weak, and that he was not the creator. Man, he ain't no better than us. Ooh, how eager we are, right? But that they now sustain themselves. I don't need God. I had money, drugs, and I didn't need God until what? They took the money, drugs, and the girls away. No Cadillac gonna stop a pimp, take their caddy. Okay, so yeah, without that, you ain't got nothing but God. When you ain't got nothing else, and most of us don't find that out until then. Well, I did. But once I found that out, I ain't looked back since. Can you say that? I didn't renege on God. I ain't fall back. No, I'm not dealing with that guy ever again. Okay, that ain't happening. All right? So when you sustain yourself thinking it's all about you without the divine intervention help in your life, oh, you destined for bad things. That's when what? They begin to become blasphemous and ridiculed him, mocking God. Picture that. And that's what happened. What's this? And this was reported to Ra by his ministers, his courtiers, the Hetheru, the god and goddesses of creation, all his people. And Ra said, okay, I'm going to punish who? All the unrighteous. How? All unrighteous human beings by letting loose upon them my daughter. Who's that? Hetheru. Who would be what? The instrument of his judgment upon them. God passed judgment on who? All the unrighteous. Ain't that the same thing going on today? It ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. If your body died, spirit ain't enlightened, it get reincarnated. Same thing. Why? The judgment day to figure out if you're righteous or unrighteous, that's what Mayat comes in. That's what she does. Before you get to God, you got to pass the scales. But watch this. Now you got Hetheru, and she agreed to what? To become what? The instrument of death or punishment against who? The evil men and women. See? They didn't discriminate. That were acting what? Unrighteously. Blaspheming. Talking against Ra and turning away from his what? His glorious nature. Meaning unrighteous living, Sodom and Gomorrah, just saying, man, we gonna do with thy will. That my man Crowley with Jay-Z boy, do with thy will. Don't sound too good now, do it, my man. When you get your freak on, you can do it their will. But when you brought up and brought that to light, it don't look too good, then do it. So if you do something in the dark that you can't do in the light, don't do it. I'm just saying. And that's God's glorious nature, to be natural. And Hetheru, watch this, she represents what? Ra's power that he can project. For now she is actually the serpent in the sun disk. That thing in the front of the sun disk, that's her. Okay, why? Protected him. Why? Because he sent her to do her work and she came back. She had already been replaced, and she's about to pitch a Louis. So, no, you protect me. I got you right here. That's the story with that. And she represents what? The fire-spitting serpent. 6 feet away. Back up. Okay? They say we bury people 6 feet deep because of the bubonic plague. No, 6 feet was enough range to keep them at distance. That's the length of the venom that the snake spits. You know that? Little tidbit here. Now, I do my homework. I know a few things. Whose venom are what? Are like Ra's sun rays. Okay, they come get you. Just as sun rays can what? For those who think they're God's chosen ones, the sun rays can burn and scorch the earth. And those who what? Not with melanin in their skin will eat you alive. They got to go what? Underground or in caves. And watch this. His rays can destroy who? The evil and the unrighteous ones. If you can't stand that thing in the sky to shine down on you, it's the reason why. I'm just saying. Moving on, I ain't going there. I ain't going to do that. I see, oh, Lord, let me stop. Let me wrap this up. Okay, but now the power, watch this. We're going to talk about the power. Her radiance and the heat can burn up that which is what? Wrong, iniquitous, or unjust, or just unvirtuous. Anything that's bad, evil, she will take care of it. Here we must remember now that we can say that she destroys what? Evil. But evil should be understood as what? As the unrighteousness that arises out of what? Your egoistic desires, which is the devil's part of you. So she can what? Destroy the production of egoism and egoism itself. So the preparation of Hetheru is a serious effort to now what? Cleanse your personality of what? Evil. Thus, when she is called upon in the form, she will turn into what? She must be properly attended to and respected. Why? Because otherwise, the same power that can lose control, that can heal, will also destroy all. You ever seen a person get crazy, get mad? You ever seen a woman scorn? Hell has no fury like a woman scorn. Don't scorn the woman, fellas. That's the lesson right now. I got all the fluff and I ain't going through that right now. So I see the clock. Wow. Hope you enjoy the lesson. I have fun. This is my thing right here. I hope you enjoy it. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. May 100 miles a day. So none of my right thinkers who understand that the Hetheru And Djehuty story have passed away. I got more good stuff for you. And this is from the book. So I ain't got to worry about people telling me this, that, the third. I'm just teaching, not giving my opinion or what I know. I teach.